Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel and the match review as we look at how FC Barcelona continued with their terrible form away from home in the league. With that game at the Carranza against Cadiz, it's now 3 losses, 1 draw and 1 win from 5 games on the road for La Blaugrana, and after 10 league matches, Barca are 7th in the standings, 12 points off of first place. As we know, the match last night ended 2-1 with Barca failing to extend their 3-game streak of clean sheets and winning. The loss to Cadiz was heavily facilitated though by much of the usual reasons we've seen at the heart of Barca's last 2 losses in the league. And as we get into those reasons, I'd like to remind you all to hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video and for more content about FC Barcelona. Now, the 3 key factors that I feel were once again behind the loss for Barcelona, I'm going to call them the Unholy Trinity, are things that have plagued us since, I would say, the 2018-19 season. And those are 1. Poor tactical setup, 2. Wasteful finishing, and 3. A weak mentality. I'll start out about the first of the Unholy Trinity as we take a look at how the 2 teams set up. Cadiz set up with a 4-1-4-1 formation with the following personnel: Alvaro Negredo coming off the bench later on to provide yet another match winner for Cadiz. For Barca though, they set up exactly as we had predicted, with there really being an air of predictability not only with the starting lineup but also with their approach play. Now, in our match preview, we had talked about how the Cadiz manager had come out in his pre-match press conference to say that possession of the ball was not something that his team needed to hurt Barcelona, and that his team would look to soak up pressure and hit Barca with a break. Knowing fully well what Cadiz were trying to do, the last thing you should be doing as Barcelona is setting up to play into their game plan. However, by having Coutinho, Messi, Griezmann and Braithwaite all on at the same time, this is exactly what Ronald Koeman did with his team. They lacked the type of width that is essential to being able to stretch a team like Cadiz, who decided to defend by congesting the central regions of play. The decision to bench Dembele for Coutinho is a particularly perplexing one, as well as the stubborn insistence to play Coutinho out of position, out on the left. Overall performance by Barca in the first half was insipid, with tons of sideways passes and no one really making any incisive line-breaking passes, except for Messi of course. As we pointed out in the match preview, Messi's passing would be key to unlocking Cadiz, and time again he did find the passes, but the second of the Unholy Trinity reared its ugly head in the form of wasteful finishing. First, Coutinho skied it from a tight angle, admittedly, but he did have an open net to aim at. Then Martin Braithwaite couldn't quite work out his angles to beat the outstanding Ledesma after Messi played him through. And then also we saw Antoine Griezmann falling asleep and watching a cutback from the impressive Serginho Dest flashing right by him when he could have had an easy tap-in had he stayed alert. Even taking into consideration the wonderful display by Ledesma in between the sticks for Cadiz, Barca were once again wasteful in front of goal. It's hard to say exactly what must change for these players to become cold-blooded killers in front of goal, but whereas previously under Ernesto Valverde, Barca struggled to create chances, they now seem to be unable to put away chances, something that started under Setien, I should point out. Nonetheless, after Cadiz had opened the scoring through a fortuitous goal that was facilitated by an error on behalf of young Oscar Mingueza, who, I guess had his first bad performance for us, I hope Ronald Koeman does not axe him from the squad, but helps him to just grow up and learn. Barca were eventually able though to claw back the Andalusians after some much needed substitutions in the second half, with Dembele and Pedri coming on to give Barca a bit more verve going forward. Messi once again played the pass that unlocked Cadiz and allowed Jordi Alba to force an own goal. Yes, good old own goal was there for Barcelona in a clutch situation once again. For a moment though, it looked like Barca were ready to pin back Cadiz and really pressurize them for more goals. However, not long after that equalizer, the third and final one of the Unholy Trinity showed up. The weak mentality. More than anything, it's this one thing that has hurt Barcelona the most. Any other combination of the other two in this Unholy Trinity, and I think Barca would still be in with a shout at challenging for titles. I mean, you only just have to look at Real Madrid for an example of a team that sets up in a rather poor manner tactically and is wasteful with chances, but has a strong mentality when the going gets tough, like we saw last season. Anyway, the weak mentality is something that seems to have been growing like a cancer throughout this entire team. It's so infectious that even players like Arturo Vidal, despite their short stint at the club, succumbed to it, you know. You can see it run around. Was it the 6th goal Bayern scored when the guy was just looking shattered and uninterested? Anyway, the nature of Cadiz's winning goal was calamitous enough, considering that it involved 3 consecutive errors from 3 seasoned professionals, 2 of whom, I should add, have won it all for club and even country. Alba takes a criminally crappy throw. Longley then makes the schoolboy error of letting the ball bounce in his box before Ter Stegen compounds everything by doing God knows what. Like, I don't know what that was. Somebody explained to me. And you know, like, Mats, I realize you're a ball-playing goalkeeper and we're a ball-playing team. We don't like to give the ball up easily, but surely you could have just kicked the ball out for a corner there, right? Negredo took advantage of the crap show at the back to score into an empty net. From there onwards, we saw shoulders slump as Jordi Alba put on his default "I don't want to be here right now" face. To their credit though, Messi, Serginho Dest, Sergio Busquets, Pedri, Dembele and Pjanic, who came on later for Busquets, all tried their best to keep plucking away, but their final shot or pass was either just off straight at Ledesma, or just straight up saved by Ledesma, because he was that good last night. Coman then further compounded matters, like wasn't bad enough. He set up poorly tactically. He then made substitutions that stunk of desperation rather than a tactical epiphany. And the game, as a result, just petered out as Cadiz dug their heels into the ground and they claimed a much-deserved win. 2-1 is how the game ended. The most worrying thing from this match, aside from the profligacy in front of goal, is that this team just doesn't have the mental strength or unity required to beat teams that don't respect them. Teams that aren't just going to comply and, roll over and let Barcelona just have their way with them. Teams that will challenge them to prove their credentials, teams that will make life uncomfortable for them. Teams like Alaves, teams like Getafe, like Cadiz, like Atletico Madrid. It's really a shocking turn of events when you consider how not so long ago, same team had the audacity to say if PSG can score 4, we can score 6 and back it up on the pitch. Same team that kept going at the Bernabeu to secure a late win to keep their title hopes alive. Now, they look like a shell of that team. With all that said, I'm going to move on now and talk about the man of the match. In our match preview, we highlighted 2 Cadiz players that Barca should be wary of. Those 2 were Alfaro Negredo and Anthony Lozano. Of the 2 though, only Negredo featured, coming on as a substitute, and as we know, he scored the winning goal. However, he just misses out on being my man of the match because I feel that title should go to Jeremías Ledesma. The Argentine shot stopper looked like a man on fire, and he stopped just about everything Barca threw at him, only being beaten by his own teammate. He particularly made 2 world-class stops to deny Martin Braithwaite and Miralem Pjanic, and had it not been for his heroics between the sticks, there wouldn't have been a 1-1 scoreline for Negredo to come and score a winner. So all in all, a wonderful day at the office for a 27-year-old shortstopper, and hats off to you, Jeremias Ledesma. That does it for my match review. What are your thoughts on the game and the performance of the team? Who was your man of the match? What do you think must be done differently in order for this team to start playing like we know it should? Thank you once again for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Blaugrana Everything for more content. Have a great day, and Forza Barca.